everybody. Revolutionaries, Ray Brem here, and today I'm pumped. I'm finally getting to talk to Mark Recklau. He is the best-selling author. He's gone from 0 to 250,000 readers in, how long was that, Mark?
4 years.
4 years, 20 books, multi-languages, box sets, everything, and I don't know if I could say this, and I'll edit it out if I can't, but he's living on a boat in Barcelona, near Barcelona, outside of Barcelona, living the life. Mark Recklau, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Ray. Great to talk to you.
So you just posted recently on how your business, you worked, and we've talked a little offline about it, and all of a sudden it's just kind of exploded, but because of the hard work.
Exactly.
How did you do that? How did you get from 0 to 250,000 readers? And
yeah, it's pretty similar to other self-published authors. So I got my big break when I mean, first of all, at least we can, as self-published authors, we can put our book out there, and then it depends on the reader if we are successful or not. So I put my book out there. First half a year, nothing happened, but then I kept studying self-publishing, kept studying marketing, and then I got a BookBub deal, and that hit me right up there in the bestseller charts of Amazon. I had like 40,000 downloads, free downloads in a couple of days. But in those times, free downloads went still a far way. So went still far. Later it turned into paid sales, and I really could live quite well off that. Had still a rhythm. I had like one book per year. So I wrote more books. I got 2 more BookBub deals. And the first mistake I made, I was building my business on BookBub deals, because as I got 3 on 3 tries, I thought like this is going on like this forever, and then they stopped. And then slowly and surely, my sales were dropping, and then last year or 1.5 years ago, they were dropping even more, because I noticed that organic visibility was going away a little bit. And many other authors I talked to also noticed the same. So we supposed maybe this is because it's getting every time more pay-to-play ads. And then I was in a point when I was so desperate, when I was losing $1,000 every month in my business. So I said, okay, I said, what are the successful authors on Amazon are doing? And I bought a couple of courses of the top people, and I saw, okay, they have, first of all, not much different than me, and that was great to know. But what did they do different? They had more books, like 10, 20, 30 books. They always had a book on promotion for 99 cents or free to bring in new readers, and they were really investing huge amounts of money in ads. Nearly maybe 50% of their sales, of their monthly sales, were reinvested in ads. So I said, okay, and then I found Mark Dawson's course. Mark Dawson is an Englishman. He is now one of the authors who sells more. I think this year he will make 2 million just with book royalties. And I said, okay, let's try it. And I was so desperate. I bought the course. I actually did it. I applied it. And suddenly I noticed, wow, that's working. So from July 2018, when I started with ads, I noticed every month I got like $500 more. And it didn't stop. And always more. I wrote more books. And I noticed also whenever I publish a new book, there's like another step on the scale. So I always could really, you can see it when you on the graphic, you can nearly see it every time when I also like published a new book, because the overall got better, because I suppose all the books are selling themselves in between them. So then it just became that, like, to try to publish a new book every 2-3 months. Of course, a good book, or no trash, writing well with the heart and everything. So, and that's what I did for 13 months. And that was like, over this time, multiplied my income by 8, my royalty income. And it's really great. It's also, we talked it before a little bit. First of all, I tried, like all of us in nonfiction, I tried to sell a lot of coaching, company training, workshops, but it just didn't happen. But with the books, it just flew. It just was in the flow all the time. So I just said, okay, I will like now just concentrate 80% of my time in my books, which means writing more books and promoting books. And the rest of the time, well, I will do other stuff, but my core business will be the books. Fun thing is, the more I said, no, I won't do coaching anymore. The more people want to be coached by me. When I said I won't help people with their books anymore, now traditional published authors of Spain are coming to me and want help with their books. But it's very comfortable position is also that I can now work with who I want. And also, like, I take a lot of time off for myself and just working. And this thing with like with the ads, it's not a great miracle. So imagine, Ray, I was just working like an hour a day on my ads. So imagine what I could have done if I would have worked 3 hours a day on my ads. But I'm just like a little bit self-complacent also, and a little bit lazy. And then it was just an hour, but it's good to see. And now I'm trying to do 2 hours a day or 2 hours every 3 days, and just keep the flow going.
So that's good, because it's, I mean, you've got books about habits, and you've got this great habit to do one, because 1 hour a day, that's still 7 hours a week, 28 hours a month on focusing on ads. So that's an impressive habit, and you're seeing the results of that, obviously. What would be a traditional day, 1 hour period that you're doing? I mean, you're adding new ads, you're removing keywords.
Mostly, let's say 60% is just watching the numbers. So I watch all my ads. I have a lot now. I have like 400 or so. So I'm just watching every day if there's some movement, because most of my ads are not even working. Some are not working so well, and then I have some who work really well. And then I would just exactly do this. If I see an ad for 2 or 3 days just spends and doesn't earn money, then I go into the ad, and then I go into the keyword, and then you can see quite quickly like which keywords get a lot of clicks, because also if you have 900 keywords, maybe 100 get clicks, and the other 800 just hanging around there. So, and then my rule is, and this rule probably is statistically is nonsense, but it's just worked for me all the time. So I keep doing it. And my rule is, so I want to see a sale in a keyword with 15 clicks. I want to see a sale. Before, when I checked my keywords and it has 15, 60 clicks, no sale, I turned it off. And then now it's like, even because now we found also out that you can also get like cheap clicks on Amazon, like maybe when all the high payers, high selling clicks are away and there are still some clicks left, maybe you might see a click for 5 cents. So now what I do is the keywords that don't work, I put them down to 3 or 4 cents, so that maybe on the long term they might get some more clicks and maybe get some more sales. And that's the only thing I'm doing every day, and it just takes an hour a day, and it worked. So for me, of course, I'm sure there are better tactics or better strategies. I'm now reading a new book on Amazon ads, but I'm like the typical old school guy. I'm a big soccer fan, and the typical thing what I said, never change a winning team. They say that also in hockey and in American football. And that's just like when something for me works, I have huge difficulties to change it.
Right.
Also the same with my covers. As long as it sells, there must be something big happening so that I change a cover.
Not to call you out on this, but you're saying keep the winning team going, but the colors of your covers are for Holland, not Germany or Spain.
Yeah.
So you're saying the winning team is Holland.
That's a miracle, Ray. If you would have told me just 10 years ago that my company color would be orange, I mean, I didn't have an orange piece of clothing, because the competition between the Dutch and the Germans in football was so huge. Also in the 90s, that it was just because orange is their color. But miraculously, I took the orange. It's really going very well. It has brought a lot of joy for me. I wonder if maybe one day I should sell my books in Holland. Maybe they would sell really well there.
That's true. I'll tell you what, the orange works. I mean, I had my roommate in college, and we played soccer at football, and he loved Holland. Mm-hmm. He would pick these teams, so his team in the World Cup was always Holland. And, back in the day, we didn't really have much to cheer for in the U.S., but so that's orange. He loved the orange uniforms. That's appealing. It's obviously works with your covers.
It's incredible. And when you look into in the psychology of colors, because I also looked at that, so you have red that is passion, and then yellow is a little bit more like tranquility, and then the both together are orange. So from one instead, so the orange also transmits enthusiasm, optimism, spiritualism, even maybe, because look at the Dalai Lama walks around also in orange.
Oh my God.
And then a designer brought me even to another, because she said even orange is cheap but good. And I'm like, holy cow, my subconscious, because like ING Direct is one of the huge banks, also a Dutch bank, but also it's like a cheap bank, but a good bank. Or in Europe, we have EasyJet, which is a good airline, but a cheap airline. So, and I thought, well, you're right. I mean, with my books, it kind of fits. My books are cheap, $4.99, but still, I hope they can transmit a lot of quality. So there's sometimes it's incredible what our subconscious does. But I'm all for the orange. And if somebody would ever say that I was against orange and said I would never wear an orange shirt, I would say this man is a liar. But I think it was like this, really.
What's an unusual habit you have as an entrepreneur, and how does it help you persevere?
Oh, I don't think I have unusual habits, but I just have habits that work, like getting up early, and like maybe the basic thing, what is for me the most important, is that I really embrace this idea of really like consistent small wins, because I see it everywhere. And now in my book, I see it most reflected in numbers, but you could see that in weight loss, in anything that you do. Sometimes it's better to do something 10 minutes a day during a year than 2 hours a day during a month, right? It sounds easy, but the thing is, as we always want to see results quickly. And most of the time it doesn't.
I'm guilty of it.
Yeah. So for me, of course, whenever I see this graph that I posted on Facebook that really shows this lovely long curve that goes up, but it shows also that has been 13 months. Maybe in my whole writer's career, it has been 4 years, and it's just like the last year where it got the tipping point. That for me gives courage and also confidence to do other things based on that idea, because everybody writes about it and talks about it, and it's just so difficult to embrace the idea. And that's what I try also to tell people, because I have written a book that called 30 Days, right? Which kind of promises life change in 30 days, which later on page 3, I already tell you, maybe you need more than 30 days. Maybe you need 60 or 90. But really to transmit this idea, give yourself time, whatever you are doing, give yourself a year. And then when you look back, you can just see this amazing change, and that gives you energy to do more changes.
I'm guilty of that too. It's like I need to see results or I'm on to the next thing. And yet it's always been when there's just this consistent little, even like just writing down your affirmations or, doing them every day. I looked at some from like 2 years ago and was like, oh my gosh, I did those and I kind of dropped off, but I did them for 30, 45 days and they all happened. Yep. Even though I stopped doing them. And it's like Jack Canfield says that too. He's like, if you can just get 30 days of them done, your subconscious picks it up and all that,
I noticed it. I wrote down my affirmations 3 years ago, and my affirmation was always, I'm earning $5,000 a month easily and effortlessly. I forgot about that. I'm now earning more easy and effortlessly. But when I wrote it, I couldn't even imagine it, right? And you can't believe it. But then on the long run, and it happened to me with goals. I have written down goals 7 years ago, and I saw the paper like a year ago, and I said, holy cow, 80% is done. But I forgot about this paper for time. So it's really magical, and this kind of stuff works, and that's why I want to encourage everybody to give it a shot.
So we've kind of talked about this. What would be a typical life cycle of somebody coming through your stuff? Like, are they mostly coming through the 30 Days book or People Magnet book, or, and then what else can they do? Are you mostly sending them to other books or courses, or?
Oh, actually, this is like totally, I have to work on that because a lot of people come through the 30 days book. I think that's like well, now lately, so in the last 3 to 5 months, the People Magnet, the Love Yourself First, and 30 days are like as good. So that's great for me to see that my new books are coming. But for the most time, and also in total, it's like 60% of my sales were from 30 days. And that's why where people find me and come to me. But I don't really have a journey for them, right? I have some free worksheets to download. I have an email series to send to them. But I'm also not offering like coaching or something, because I also don't do a lot of coaching right now. So I want to, maybe once a year I will do a promo to get 5 clients, because I need also new stories. And funnily, many times my ideas for new books come from coaching, but in the end it's just me writing. And the great thing is that if you look on my also boards on Amazon, it's like Amazon is doing all the work, because it's like all the also boards are my other books. So I think like that's great. And that, so I see my people, my readers really are loyal. They buy my other books. And I had also people writing this to me, right? They said, look, I loved your 30-day book, and actually that's enough for me, but I will buy all your other books just to support you. And I'm like, yeah. Wow, crazy, great. And so, and I also work a lot by intuition. So people still, they contact me by coaching. And if I feel, I can already feel it if I want to work with this person, if I might make time, but I'm also very like greedy with my time. So my time is for me and my loved ones, and for my friends. And if there's an interesting offer, then you can always make time, right? Because we always can make time. Like you and me today, like this, we made time for each other. No longer talk to my assistant, and maybe in 3 weeks we're like, no, Ray, when can you talk? On Monday, bam, on Monday we are here. So
I'm glad I didn't send you to my calendar. That would have looked bad.
So the thing is that I have to work a little bit on my reader's journey, but on the other hand, it's also okay as it goes. So I have my courses also. Look, I have 2 online courses, but I don't even have them in my book. So this is another, if I put in my productivity book, the productivity course, probably every 20 or 100 readers, somebody will buy the course. But for me, the numbers speak so clear, because for me, it was also a huge effort to sell my courses. Mm-hmm. The only thing that for me is relatively effortless is my book sales. Those always worked or with Amazon. And then when my book didn't work so well on Amazon, the international deals came in. That's something that's fun, because there you don't do nothing. You read a contract, you sign it, and then they pay you a little bit of money to make your book in Japanese, Chinese, Russian, or whatever. So with all this, but still, it's always the most of the money comes from the book.
So that's, and then you continue to make sure that's going to happen mainly through Amazon ads. I mean, you run consistent BookBub ads or anywhere else?
Only Amazon ads. I had a lot of success with BookBub ads last year at that time, but and then I noticed they got more and more expensive, and I think I burned a little bit. I burned my followers a little bit, because I have on BookBub, many people have to know me because I gave away more than 100,000 free books in the early stages. So I just ran ads for all of my books, not just for one book, for all of my, to that group. And I think one day they were just tired of me and said, yeah, Mark, stop it now, we won't. And then and the only thing that always worked for me are Amazon ads, consistently working. Of course, I have also some ads that don't work at all, but in the global, I'm all, as I also now advertise in the UK, in Germany, and I have a big luck to in Spain. And Spain, Amazon's ads in Spain, I'm in a test group, and it's just incredible the ROI that you get in Spain. And in Spain, I run an ROI of 500. So that means every euro or every dollar I give Amazon Spain, I get $5 to $6 back. And that also oftentimes makes up for all the other markets. So in a total, maybe if I spend 2,000 a month, I make like 8,500. So the goal is to spend more.
You say you're in a test group. Is that with Amazon or you just, okay.
And Amazon, but the thing is I asked because the great thing is, you know, that Spain is a very small market compared, and everybody kind of knows everybody. So my friend, they're running also an award, Amazon here, like the Storyteller Award here in Spain. It's the Amazon prize, and then he won it a year ago. And then I know from 2 other authors, best-selling authors, that they got from Amazon asked to go into these ad groups and try. And I told me, and I WhatsApped them. I said, hey, ask them if I can join too, right? And then I was lucky, and they let me join too. And of course, I could put all my knowledge of the US ads, just could transfer it directly on the Spanish ads. It works the same. The clicks are just so much cheaper, like between 2 and 5 cents. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
So in Spain, I don't even check my ads because it doesn't matter. You can even have 100 clicks for a sale. That's $2. Still making a profit. So
Wow, that's interesting. So what about you ever use eBrolis? Is that
yes.
have you used them?
Yes,
Okay.
I used eBrolis, and my friend who got me into the Amazon ads, Christian Parfumo, he is actually the eBrolis, one of the founders of eBrolis.
Oh yeah.
He's also an author. And yeah, I use them always for Spain, but now I do it all with Amazon ads. I also don't launch at 99 cents anymore in Spain. I launch at $2.99, and it works. So I would put my book on pre-sale for $2.99 for 6 weeks. Just run a couple of Amazon ads to it. In these 6 weeks, maybe write 3 or 4 mails to my Spanish list. And then when it's launch day, it's nice. I also, you know, one important factor for me was also I don't look so much at my ranking anymore. That's easy when you're number 1 everywhere.
Yeah,
but it's
right.
really the thing is really, because I noticed, for example, when I did the 0.99 launches, but it might be a misconcept of me, because today I read again that, that just the algorithm picks it up. But when I see it as a businessman, so, and I launch a book for 99 cents, and I sell 20 a day, 20 a day, 20 a day. And then I earn $7 a day, right? That's the same I earn if I run an Amazon ad and sell 2 books a day. So that's the thing, you know? So that was a change in my mind. So I said, I'd rather sell 4 books a day and make $12 than sell 25 and make 7, because at the end of the day, I make, what is it? The profit is more. So also a tactic that works. So that's why I don't care. So before, it's also another backstory. I was number 1 for so long in Spain, and also top position in the US, and I was losing money in my business, you know? So then I said, okay.
And that's because the price of the book?
Yeah, because of the price of the book, and because, you know, because really the numbers that we are knowing, it's really not those numbers. You know, it's like I should sell 500 books a day. I'm not selling 500 books a day, I'm telling you. So these numbers that we always had, if you're on the number 100, I think this is also from the old days, right? So, and also if you're in Spain number 1, you sell like a tenth of the books that you would sell in the US, because it's a smaller market. So
right.
For me, it started working. So what I do every day is like looking, what did come in and what did I spend? And as in the beginning, when this number was higher than 100, and I was happy. And now when it's higher than 300, I'm happy. And then it adds up.
So you have advertising, is it separate advertising accounts in Spain, in Germany, and UK? I know they just released the UK
Exactly.
and Germany. Okay.
So I was lucky to get into Spain because that's the best one. And then, but now I'm in 4 markets: the US, like always, Germany, UK, and Spain. And now I let you make your question, and then I come with something even better. I already know it. I come with an even greater tip later. But you ask your question.
No, well, that was the question.
Okay, because
no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the follow-up was: is there any way you're aggregating that data, or you got to log into each one to kind of do your work on a daily basis?
I'm doing far too much work. I mean, now I now just a week ago I got a tool. It's called Biddings tool, Biddings tool, which is automating kind of. So you put your acres and everything. And before I just did it myself with Excel sheets, but the most always the US, because the US is the most competitive. So it also takes me like an hour to check my US ads now because they got more. Germany and UK and the Spain have such great numbers that at the moment I still don't look. You know, when my ACOS is at 20-25%, I don't look because I'm earning money. And then what I wanted to say, and this is a huge thing, which I'm just also thanks to Biddings came to that before, because you know we can in the US we can only like promote our English speaking books, right? Not so in Spain, UK, and Germany. What that means is in Germany, on Amazon Germany right now, I'm earning more money with my English books than with my one German book, because for my one German book I have like 4 ads, and for my English books I have like 40 ads. Of course, I'm earning more money with that. And that's something. So what I do now, or that's something I think about, is like, okay, in the UK, I'll not only promote my English books, I'm gonna promote my German and my Spanish books too, because there will be some impressions I will get. And the same thing is in Germany, and the same thing is in Spain. I just one day I said, okay, let's try to promote my English books in Spain, because we have like 200,000 or 300,000 residents, English-speaking residents, and it works. And then even myself, look, I'm German, but I use the Amazon Spain because I have to use it. I live in Spain, so I have to use it to buy books, but I buy my books in English. So I search them in English, I buy them in English, and they are written by English speakers, so it's logical. So that's something. And then in Germany, I think there are 2 million English speakers, or 3 million. So imagine, so at least we can try.
Okay, this is very interesting. My mind's going all over the place. That being said, because I wouldn't say you have an advantage, but you're exposed to these different markets much more. You know, being in Europe, that's kind of the norm. There's a store here, a store there. I guess my main question is, one, if somebody's starting out right now, no matter where they are, well, let's make this 2 questions. First question is, what % of your profits are coming from each of those stores, would you say? Because you're more profitable in the Euro stores, right?
So the Europe stores, they're practically making up for my US losses. I don't know in numbers. I know lately, the last 4 weeks, I know that in the US I had an ACOS of 70%. That's a lot of money.
Yep.
In Spain, Germany, and the UK, I have between 20. In Spain, around 20%. So in Spain, let's say if my number would be 1,000 in ad spend, I would get 4,000 in sales, which later are like 70% of that. So, and in England and the UK and in Germany, like same thing, like 25-30%. So, but what does my profit still comes from the US, because I have a lot more ads in the US. I have like 160 ads or so in the US compared to 40 in Spain, right? So at the moment, it is like 50-50 between, no, you can 40% from Spain, 40% from the US, 10% Germany, 10% UK. Oh, and I'm also advertising in Canada. A friend of mine is also advertising my books in Canada, so that's also another number. So it's really amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this is really interesting, because there's a whole nother avenue here where and it's not getting your book translated to Spanish. That'd be great, but it's just advertising to English speakers in these other markets that there's a huge opportunity.
I told you. No, and the thing is really, because for me, the fun is, of course, I'm German. I have 1 book in German. So I was starting translating my 2nd book into German. I have 2 more to translate, but then now I stopped since 2 weeks, because I was like, hey, I have so many keywords for all my English books. I'll just feed all those keywords to the German Amazon page, and I'm already earning money. And it's what I said, funnily making more money, of course, also logical with my 10 books in English that I have in the German market, than with my 4 ads that I'm running to 1 book in German. And there's another thing with the German mentality. It's just a theory of mine, but I think they like to read English books, because with 30 days, I never had success in German. because it was just a German guy writing a German book, way too happy, in a way too happy manner. It's not, they don't like it when you write it that way. But then, because I write very American, I write very American, motivating, bam, 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 do it, and things like that. And this, I think it's just theories. I think this, Germans, they like it when it comes from Americans. They don't like it when it comes from Germans. So, and that's something.
I think that's normal in a lot of, Latin America. My wife's from Mexico, and if there's two things there, they're going to pick the American thing, if they're the exact same. So, but the idea, so it's even, a bigger advantage to people to get into those markets.
Absolutely. And now coming back to Biddings, that's the great thing, because Biddings costs like $89 or something a month, and I still didn't figure it out. So I put my ACOS there, and it's supposed to optimize my ads to reach that ACOS. But I have still not enough data to. But on the other hand, another great thing is if I make one ad, not only one ad. So I take an ad group with all my books on the same ad group, and I would say, okay, now I'm going to pay 27 cents, blah, blah, blah. And the program would hit out 20 ads for every book, 3 ads for every book, for every country. So that's even more than 20. So it's just huge. And you do it in the time where you normally would do one. So this alone already pays it for me, because it saves me a lot of time, because I don't, so they have a nice video. They do it 12 times as fast when you do it in one market. But if you do it in 4 markets, so I do now, all my ads go directly into all the markets. And you can do that with English keywords. So you would take an English book, your English keywords, and then you could put it in the US, and it would make, if you want, so it would make an automatic ad and a manual ad. And maybe if you want a manual with exact phrase, so that's 3. And that's for the hardcover. Then it would do the same thing for the paperback. And then it would do the same thing in Spain, in the UK, and Germany.
In the English, use the English for the English audiences.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, here's the big granddaddy question of all. I've just taken away all of your books. I've just taken away all your accounts, anybody that knows you, and you got to start over right now. What will you do for the next 30 days? What would you do to get back moving in direction now that you have all this knowledge?
But can I still, have I been blocked from Amazon or can
no,
I still?
You're not blocked, but you're starting over. I mean, you could have your keyword lists, but that's it, no books. Yeah.
Quickly with Publish Rocket. Do I have still my files of my books? No, I would just re-upload everything and I'll run ads again. And now because I had the same talk today with a friend, because he also said, well, you can duplicate Mark's success, and you can even make it faster if you make 100 ads a day or 200 ads a day. I don't recommend that, because you also can lose a lot of money if you make 200. So I build it up very small, 10 ads, then another 10, then another 10. And whenever I saw it's working, but now when you say, okay, everything is gone away except my knowledge, yes, I would do 200 or 300 ads in a day, because my confidence is very big in Amazon that it works. I would need a little bit of, let's say, money to play with, because you know that sometimes it takes a while, especially with so many ads, in the worst case, it takes 100 clicks for every book or 30 clicks for every book to make the first sale. But usually it's not like that. And then I would just go at it again. And I'm actually doing it now. I'm making more ads now every day. And I have a friend, Thibaut Meurice. I don't know if you know him. He is also a best-selling author. Mm-hmm. And he is motivated. I mean, when Germany opened in a day, he had 100 ads in English out for his book. And he saw that return right away. And so that's great. It motivates me, because I say, okay, maybe Mark, maybe you're just a little bit too lazy making 10 ads a day. Maybe you should knock it up a notch like Thibaut does. But it also comes with the confidence, because we know more or less how our ads work. When you are new, I would go a little bit more cautious, except if you have a money to draw from that doesn't, like playing money, like when you go to the casino and it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you play a different game than
let's throw a caveat in there. So if you had to create a new KDP account where they don't recognize, there is some slowness in getting Amazon ads to work unless you somehow prime them. Would you do anything different then? Would you start in Germany or Spain first because it's a less expensive?
So Spain is Spain is absolutely incredible. Really, it's because probably also because they're still testing. But so in Spain, I always with like 20 or 30 ads, I got 3 or 4 times more impressions than in the US with 100 ads. So in Spain, it was really between 500,000 and 1 million impressions every day. And it's of course with so many impressions, you get your clicks and you get your sales. But still, I think on the other hand, it was great to learn in the US because it's by far the most competitive market. So when you dominate more or less, or if you can break even or even make profit in the US, you will definitely make profit in the UK, in Germany, or in Spain, maybe. See it like that, right? So you can start really anywhere, anytime, no excuses. It won't get easier. You have to learn it. So I told you also before, I can't do anybody's ads, or I also won't do because that time I rather spend on myself, but also so I could show my system, but still the person would have to do and apply this on their own ads because every book is different. As we said before, I have the orange. So really, maybe I have a little bit of an advantage, or also that I have readers that say, look, I want to support you. Even if I don't read your books, I will buy them all. And that's something is also you work for over the years, right? So this brand building, but still, and another thing, I think I've shown that it's possible within an hour a day. And when I get approached by authors who say, Mark, I want to do your ads, or Mark, I want to find somebody who does my ads. And then I'm like, are you serious? So you want to earn $6,000 or $8,000 a month, and you are not ready to commit 1 hour a day to that? And then in my opinion, I'm sorry, I'm so frank, then you don't deserve it. Because you must work for it. You have to show the universe or whatever that you like your book, you committed in that, and then it will work. And of course, you can also outsource. I outsource my ads in Canada, but if I want the maximum profit, I have to do them myself. So
it's like having somebody be the spokesperson for you, or I deal with it in my business too. It's like, hey, if you want, you can hire some people out, but at some point you've got to take ownership of Facebook ads for, courses or whatever. You can't have somebody else doing your social media videos for you. You're going to, like you said, what more about your book than anyone else, and you care more.
Nobody will be so committed, except, if you train your kids or your wife, really, and I'm not kidding,
right.
But no agency will care about. I've seen agencies, they celebrate it as a win to get a click at €1 or $1, and they're like, are you kidding me? I get 5 clicks for that on a good day. So, and that at the end influences your result. And it's very funny. So I live on a port here, and there are many successful business people. And one of my good friends, is a director of the 2nd largest bank in Germany. And he told me, so he's like always like mentoring me a little bit. And he said, Mark, never give away your sales and your marketing. You always have to be on top of it. Don't give it outside. Only if you trust us. 100%, because if we are serious, companies, because they have the money and they can spend it, but I'm sure if they needed to save a little bit, they could save some money.
Mm-hmm. And get somebody that's inside. That's sometimes it's the guys in the. I remember just working in IT. I was like, we knew better how this stuff should be, and they were outsourcing it to people that.
It's human. Of course. So if I would make ads for somebody else, of course I would do them the best I can for some time. And then I would see, maybe with half an hour I already get there, and then I have half an hour more for this. 45s and no problem, because how did the problems in the world start? When you work with other people's money, it's just so much easier. It doesn't hurt. A loss
Right.
doesn't hurt. I mean, if you're a very ethical person, it might hurt a bit, but then you forget about it. But if it's your own money, it hurts.
Yeah.
And it's also great when it comes in. You live it more, I think. So yeah, but that's just my opinion, and it's going well for me. So
It's going awesome. I want to talk again because I think we could dig a little deeper in some of the techniques for people. But anyway, this has been great. I got a page of notes here myself, and on the back of an envelope, of course, because that's what entrepreneurs do. Or I should have done it on it. I've got some napkins here where I take notes too to write down the back of a napkin.
In Barcelona, the best contracts are made on napkins. You know, Lionel Messi, the best soccer player in the world.
Right.
Arguably, some people say it's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Right.
I say it's Leo. His first contract was signed on a napkin when he was 12 years old in a tennis club outside of Barcelona because the father wanted the commitment, and Barca people said we can't lose this guy. And on a napkin they wrote that they will take him over, bring him from Argentina, will pay all his treatment because he had a special treatment because he was small, and he came here. And now the napkin is, I think it's in the museum of the Football Club of Barcelona. So good things happen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Good things happen on napkins. All right, everybody, that was super good. I'm going to digest it and kind of put a summary together for you. But thanks for watching, Mark. Thanks for joining us late night on your yacht there, and we will talk to you all soon.
Cool. Looking forward to it.